to... Hey, welcome back. This is License to View. This is a weekly pop culture podcast where two best friends get together, talk about pop culture stuff. I'm Jason, that's Zach. What's going on, man?
Not too terribly much. I've just started my long road back into playing Persona 5 again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been...
Okay.
Well, I bought Persona Royal when it came out, oh my god, when was that? Like a year and a half, 2 years ago now? And I bought it, and I never booted it up, because, I played the first Persona, and I'm pretty sure I got, 80% done with the game, and then I don't remember what happened. I just, fell off of it.
Yeah.
But Persona Royal came out, and I've had it on my PS4 forever. And I was like, you know what? Eventually, I'm gonna get to this because it's got all the quality of life changes and stuff like that that Atlas always does when they re-release the Persona game with the new edition and whatnot. But I just knew it was it took me so long to get where I was in Persona 5, the original, that I was like, fuck, dude, do I really want to go through that again? But now I started playing again, and I was like, yep, I'm still having a lot of fun with this game. I have it a lot. I'm enjoying it a lot, and the soundtrack's still a fucking banger.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll always want to try those games, and then I always try them, and then I always realize that I don't care about those games.
Yeah, that's fair. It's definitely
It'd be
not for
cool
everybody.
if it just wasn't the Pokemon shit. I'd be all about it. But the Pokemon shit ruins it for me.
Honestly, the Pokemon shit's not a huge part of it. I mean, there's definitely the personas are definitely a part of it, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's definitely a segmented thing to it, and in the overall scheme of thing, battle system wise, they're a huge part of it, obviously, but in the overall scheme of the game, they're really not that big. It's mostly about the lifestyle, slice of life stuff with going to school and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's the combining stuff I don't care for.
Yeah.
So having to evolve, combine that whole
Yeah, and
thing I don't care
it
about.
gets really complicated too, because it really doesn't make sense what things combine to make what certain things. So it's really kind of trial by error a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the handy little thing where they have a fuse by results thing. So instead of trial by error or whatever, you can actually they have a table that you can go down and actually see what creates what, and before you ever fuse anything anyways, it shows you what's created and what kind of moves they have. So I mean, that part's a little bit
Yeah.
it's not exactly caution to the wind, but it's still it takes a lot of mental energy to go through it and figure out what you need and what needs to be done, and sometimes it's got to go into your registry and dig out old personas so that you can fuse them together to create what you want. So I mean, it's definitely not the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, dude. I know I got a bunch of stuff on my list for the end of the month
Yeah.
when we do our wrap up episode
Yes.
for August. Right now, I'm here sipping on an IPA.
Oh yeah.
Sipping on a Steel Hands Juicy Hazy IPA
I don't think I've ever heard of that. Steel Hands?
Yeah, from Casey, South Carolina. I've never heard. This is the first time I've ever heard of it. My fiance just bought it. She's at a beer store, liquor store, and said that it looked cool, or it was cheap or something. It was like the cheapest IPA 6-pack. Okay, we'll get it. We'll try it, and it's pretty fucking good.
Okay.
So that's really all I've been doing. I got a lot of shit going on in terms of binge watching stuff. I'll mention at the end of the month.
Yeah.
But I will say now that it involves The Simpsons.
Okay.
So there's that.
That's a lot of binge
and
watching
then,
to do.
Yeah, I've been binging that, and then also I read the chapter of Bleach
Okay.
that came out. I'll talk about that too. But that's besides the point, Zach. We're here to review. I think it's our first comedy for the podcast. I think.
I don't if it's not the first, it's like in the like first 5 because we really don't do a lot of comedies.
I can't think of anything else that's comedy, pure comedy.
Yeah, I think a lot of the other stuff we do has like strokes of comedy in it, but yeah, this is like I
Yeah.
feel like this might be probably one of the first pure comedy movies that we've done.
Like we did Oh Brother,
Yeah, we did Will Brother, we did
but
Fargo.
it's not a
Like there's stuff with
comedy.
like comedy in it for sure, but
Yeah, there's still drama.
yeah.
Like it's a drama with comedy.
Hmm.
You know, whereas this movie is only
This is
it's a
comedy
comedy.
through and through, baby.
So Zach, what are we talking about this week?
We are talking about the classic sci-fi parody film Mel Brooks' Spaceballs. And Jason, I don't know. You said you'd never watched this before. I've watched this movie along with Blazing Saddles hundreds of times. I hadn't watched it in a while, but rewatching it this week, I was like, yeah, still fucking funny, and I love it to death. I love this movie so much.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, what is your history with Spaceballs? What's your history with Mel Brooks in
Mm.
general? And do you remember like when you first heard about Spaceballs? How did you first see it? Do you remember any of that stuff?
So I think the biggest thing for me is I don't have a deep history with Mel Brooks. Like I haven't seen all this stuff, but I mean, obviously, Blazing Saddles is like the first thing that like my dad introduced me to because that's like one of his favorite comedies of all time. Like he loves it so much so that like when he plays fantasy football, his team name is named after the main character from Blazing Saddles. Like he just loves it that much. Um, so that was like my first like tinge of Mel Brooks, and then I think we also had like I don't know exactly when, but I know at some point we had a DVD of Spaceballs too. So it was like this was the one that I always graduated more towards rewatching more than so than Blazing Saddles. Like I still find Blazing Saddles really funny, but like obviously the sci-fi aspect is something that like grips me a lot more. That's something that like I like a lot more, and like I mean, it's like this is Spaceballs has a tinge of like a bunch of different sci-fi's in it, but it's mainly Star Wars is like the big thing, and so like
Yeah.
loving Star Wars as a kid and like seeing like all the jokes that are based off of that is super fun to watch. But yeah, it's not like I don't have like a super deep history with Mel Brooks. I mean, I've watched like Blazing Saddles, Spaceballs, uh, Robin Hood, Men in Tights. I've watched. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Those are the main ones I watched. Like and Young Frankenstein. Um, I watched like some of his other ones, like 12 Chairs, I think, or History of the World Part Two, or like I've seen parts of those, but I've actually never actually sat down and like watched the whole movies. But I do really love his comedy a lot. It's really funny to me.
Yeah, and I think I have almost the inverse connection to Spaceballs, but particularly Brooks in general,
Hmm.
is that I avoided this movie like the plague until we watched it.
Okay.
I avoided Spaceballs forever.
Yeah.
I remember being a kid and people talking about it like they loved it. They would love seeing it on Comedy Central or
Hmm.
on TBS, whatever channel was playing it, and they just talked. They raved about it. My friends, people I knew, just thought it was so funny as a kid. You're like, this is amazing. Everyone knows Star Wars, so this is like Rick Moranis is like the funniest fucking character. Everyone loves
Dark
Dark
Helmet
Helmet, or
is
whatever.
great.
And I just would see it on TV because I didn't have it. I just would see it on TV
Hmm.
being played and go, "This is fucking dumb." As a 12-year-old, being like, "This is stupid." And I think it's because as a 12-year-old, I loved comedy.
Hmm.
Right, I was a comedy geek as a kid, but I didn't know what what comedy I liked.
Hmm.
I just thought that I liked stand up.
Yeah.
I liked like sketch stuff, like Mad TV or whatever.
Hmm.
And then um, I just avoided it because I thought that it was too goofy.
It's definitely
I was
goofy.
like,
Like his comedy definitely leans toward like I don't know, because I mean he's got like the goofy stuff in there, but he's still got jokes that are like very well written as well.
no, for sure, but it was definitely as a 12-year-old.
Hmm.
I almost feel like I was too comedy pretentious as a 12-year-old. Like I remember being a kid and spending so much of my time on Friday nights watching all the reruns of Comedy Central Presents, which are the half-hour specials,
Yeah.
or even they lead up to new ones, and that's how I discovered like Mike Birbiglia or Jim Gaffigan or Lewis Black
Mm-hmm.
or Doug Benson or any of these comedians that I ended up liking at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Dane Cook, before Dane Cook was super huge, right? Um, and thinking like seeing Spaceballs and being like, this is lowbrow. And I'm 12 years old, like this is lowbrow. Like goof bits, I don't care about this stuff, right? But then like 2 years later, I saw Men in Tights. I was like, this is so fucking funny. And I didn't know it was the same person.
Yeah.
But like, of course it's the same fucking person, right? But I loved Dave Chappelle as a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
13. I thought Dave Chappelle was one of my favorite comics. So I watched the movie because of Dave Chappelle.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even because I liked Carrie Ellis, which at that point in my life I never saw Princess Bride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I didn't have a connection to him. It was Dave Chappelle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's, Half Baked. I love Dave Chappelle. I love Killing Them Softly.
Yeah.
Came out a little bit later, but all that stuff, right? So I avoided Spaceballs, and my dad, you see your dad liked Blazing Saddles. My dad loved Young Frankenstein.
Okay.
But he would never, we never had it in the house.
Mm-hmm.
No reason.
He would just watch it when it was on.
Yeah, he just watched it when it came out,
Mm-hmm.
and then he just liked it from then. You know what I mean? Because in the house, he only had like westerns
Mm-hmm.
and like fucking like science fiction, like action movies and like fucking RoboCop and Terminator, shit like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He never had comedies, so I didn't see Young Frankenstein until years later.
Yeah.
I think I was probably like 18 before I saw it.
Damn.
You know, I mean, because pretty much, honestly, straight up, 90% of Gene Wilder's filmography I never saw until I was a full adult.
Mm-hmm.
Because I only saw Willy Wonka because everybody's
seen Willy Wonka, yeah.
Because if you have ABC Family, back when ABC Family was actually ABC
Play this
Family,
shit all the time.
every fucking year they're playing Willy Wonka like crazy.
Yeah.
You know, so I've seen that obviously, but I never saw any of these other stuff. So Young Frankenstein was like a whole new.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never even fucking heard of it before. So it's my first time watching Spaceballs.
Mm-hmm.
But since you've seen it so many times, we'll start there.
Mm-hmm.
How does it hold up to someone who's seen the movie 1,000 times?
It still holds up to me, dude. I mean, it's like, I haven't seen it in a few years, but like there's still those jokes that like get me every single time. And I mean, it's also like, I wanted to bring this up a little bit too, because this is something that I kind of noticed while watching it as well, which is that like Mel Brooks has a habit. I mean, not in all of his movies, because I haven't seen all of his movies at least, but like in the ones that I watched, like Men in Tights, Blazing Saddles, Spaceballs, he usually has like one or two like serious actors. Like in this one, he's got like Bill Pullman, and like Men in Tights, it's like Carrie Elwes in in Blazing Saddles. I don't know exactly who he was, but the guy who plays the sheriff, and then he like is able to like draw out their comedy, especially with like surrounding with like comedic actors. With like Blazing Saddles, you've got Gene Wilder in there, and then in Spaceballs, I mean, you've got Rick Moranis, who's hilarious whenever he's on screen, and then you've also got John Candy, who I adore. So it's like he gets that interesting mix of like a serious actor that like puts like an actual like like thespian actor face on the movie, but then he surrounds him with all these people that are able to like draw these jokes and make them even more funny. And even with like the regular actors as well, he's able to like get them to do stuff that is just like hilarious to me. But I still enjoy this movie a lot.
It's the Dumb and Dumber effect.
Oh yeah.
Like that movie I think was so funny as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen it in a while, but I'm pretty sure it still holds up.
Yeah.
But also because of the fact that what's his name is not a comedian.
Yeah. Oh my God, what is his name?
Jeff Daniels. He's not a comedian.
Everything besides Dumb and Dumber is like for him like super serious.
How do I go from like literally I'll just watch Speed and then the next day I'm seeing I'm watching him in Dumb and Dumber. Yeah. Like it's like that paradigm shift, which I'm pretty sure is a wrestling finishing move.
I think it is.
Whose finisher is the paradigm shift?
That sounds like. Hold on. Oh, God, who's that?
Whose finisher is it's a person who's currently wrestling. Paradigm shift. Who is that? Is that a New Japan guy or AEW guy?
John Moxley?
That's what it is. Yeah, it's the double-handed DDT, double arm DDT.
Yeah.
Because he had two names for it. he calls it the paradigm shift and like the death
It's a
something.
Death Edge, I
When,
think.
when he's in New Japan, he calls it the death thing. But when he's in
Death
AEW, he
Rider.
calls it the paradigm shift. Death Rider. Yeah, he has two different names for it.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I and so speaking, but talking about John Candy,
Yeah.
right? I really don't have a huge like love
Mm.
or wealth of I've seen 1941.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen obviously the big ones, Planes, Trains. Obviously, I've seen Uncle Buck.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I saw Armed and Dangerous. But other than that, I don't really know what else he's been in. I obviously Home Alone. Obviously, he's in that. But I'm much more in the Dan Aykroyd,
Yeah.
like all his comedies.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of more my speed. I don't think that's by choice. I think that's by just having Dragnet in the house
Mm.
and watching Dragnet a lot, and then also watching like, whatever else he was in, Spies Like Us,
Yeah.
shit like that as a kid, which are also goofy, but I don't know, something about Spaceballs, which is always like this is like maybe because I love Star Wars so much.
That's possibly part of it too, because yeah, I mean, it really like digs at not just Star Wars in particular, but like, I mean, it's like Mel Brooks with all his movies, but like whatever he's uh, focused on at that point, like he really digs into like the specifics behind like
Yeah.
the mythology and like the things that people like, and is really able to like turn them on their head in a way that's to me very funny.
There's something about even as a child, there's something about like you're gonna spoof one of my favorite things. Nah, I'm good. Cause like to me like think about it, right, like in the '80s,
Mm-hmm.
spoof movies were like actually well done,
Yeah.
right? Like top secret and stuff like that, all the Zucker stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to when we're children
It's like Scary Movie and all
in
that
the
shit.
late '90s to the early 2000s, where it's all scary movie and shit like that, which is like not
Well, now
really a
they've like kind
spoof
of
movie.
disappeared, haven't they?
Yeah, they're pretty much
Yeah.
gone.
They don't really
I think they
exist.
primarily only I think they primarily only exist like in the black film world.
Yeah, I guess
Last
there
time
was like a I don't remember how long ago, but yeah, they
it was
did like
a Wayans
the what was it,
brother.
the Paranormal Activity
Yeah,
spoof?
like the Wayans brother had one,
Yeah.
and
They're like the only ones that really still do it. Yeah, it's like the Wayans brothers.
which obviously they have ties to
Yeah, Scary
Scary
Movie and
Movie,
all that stuff. Yeah.
So for me, having seen this finally for the first time in full, because I've seen scenes, I couldn't tell you what scenes I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Having seen it for the first time, having already have had other Mel Brooks movies digested at this point,
Yeah.
it's exactly what I expected. I didn't think that it's the best thing of all time,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think Mel Brooks' comedy is my favorite type of
That's
comedy.
fair.
But I enjoyed the movie 90%.
Okay.
I think that I'll cut to the chase. I think the last act, I kind of got bored.
I thought that definitely we're gonna be watching it too. Like after the Robo Maid blows up, I was like, oh yeah, there's like a lot of exposition back dump
Yeah.
that they kind of like do with like the marriage and all that shit. Although that has one of my best bits in it, which is when they're at the diner and the fucking alien pops out of John Hurt,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh yeah, that's
My favorite bit, I laughed a decent bit, but pretty much like 99% of my laughs were all Moranis.
oh yeah, Moranis is like, I mean, he's
That's
easily
it.
got like some of the best stuff in the whole thing.
Like I didn't laugh at all at John Candy, really. That
Oh
was
really?
smirks. I got some smirks going on.
Okay.
But Rick Moranis was the only time I actually like this is funny. But that's also because that's what he is in every movie.
Yeah, I mean, he's just funny.
You know,
No matter what.
I mentioned last week. I don't know if I was on the podcast or not, but I mentioned watching Strange Brew because
Mm-hmm.
he's so fucking good in that. But my favorite bit in the movie is the quick one-liner, which is at the beginning of the movie when he says to his right hand man, he calls him Colonel Sanders. I was waiting for the KFC bit right there, and Mel
You
Brooks
got
didn't
it.
give it to me.
You got it eventually.
He didn't give it. But he didn't give it to me then.
No,
he
he
gave it
didn't.
to
He
me
made you wait for
40
it.
minutes later. Gave it to me 40 minutes later, and then
When they're about to jump to hyperspace, what's the matter, Colonel Sanders?
Yeah.
Chicken?
You chicken. That killed me, because it was like I was waiting for it and I forgot about it,
Yeah.
and then he just brings it right back up, which is really funny.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, while the third act I think is really slow and kind of lost me,
Mm-hmm.
I love I don't think that Mel Brooks, and obviously he's probably talked about this in interviews 1,000 billion times, so I just haven't seen it, but the amount of effort into practical effects
Oh, it's
is
crazy.
so
Yeah.
it's so good that they don't that alone makes me go, okay, he's not like he's actually like trying to,
Yeah.
he's not digging at this. Like he's
He
obviously
clearly likes it a lot.
homaging
Yeah.
he's
Or at
homaging
least
it, but he's also
understands like what
spoofing
he's
it.
trying to parody.
Like if he was doing like a parody and he was doing the space scenes and they just looked like complete shit,
Yeah.
or the sets looked like complete shit, I would be kind of bored or annoyed by it.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they put money into making the sets look good
Yeah.
shows me that like hey, we're gonna parody this and also make it a quality parody because we're gonna put money into the spaceship. The spaceship, even if the designs are goofy on purpose,
Yeah.
they're gonna look good going through
Mm-hmm.
space. You know what I mean? And that alone gives me like at the beginning of the movie when Hellman is like looking at the radar and they're going
Yeah.
to the coffee machine. Both those machines look really good.
They look good, machines, yeah.
So for that alone, I'm like, okay, they're putting money into the spoofs, to the bits.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like haphazard, like stupid, we're gonna make it look bad on purpose because
Yeah.
we don't care about putting quality in it. We're gonna actually try to make it look good.
Well, I think that's the thing that I enjoy about, I haven't seen too many of the Zucker comedies, but I mean, I think that's the thing that I like about Mel Brooks' stuff a lot is that, like, he's parodying a lot of stuff, but, like, yeah, he's, like, not half-assing it. Like, he's like, you're not going to laugh at this because it's bad. You're going to laugh at this because it's funny and the jokes are good. Like, the joke isn't that, oh, the sets are bad, that's so funny. Like, the joke is the joke.
Yeah, I think that it would lose the effectiveness of the joke
Oh, 100%.
if it wasn't also like produced in a way that it could be like this is a movie.
Yeah.
Like we're making this look good because it's a movie and we're putting millions of dollars into it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to accompany the joke, which is also parodying Star Wars, Star Trek, or whatever it is. And I think that really that really impressed me because I didn't know. Every scene that I saw growing up was just them in a cockpit, so I didn't know what the ships look like.
That's fair. Yeah, because I mean,
Until way later.
Yeah, as far as like watching scenes or like watching random scenes or something like that, like a lot of the stuff, would take place in like a cockpit set. Like you're not really going to get those establishing shots of like what the ships look like or like what his rocket Winnebago looks like flying through space.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, the lasers look good, the guns look good, but most importantly, like I was the whole movie I was so impressed with the Rick Moranis costume.
Oh, his dark helmet costume.
Because even though it's obviously it's a spoof of Vader, and I think it's funny, the suit itself is made really well.
It's not that bad.
That's like a really good like. If it didn't have the functioning swivel of the faceplate, the helmet looks good. From behind, when he's walking, it looks like Vader with a big ass head.
Yeah.
The actual leather or pleather or whatever it is looks really well made. So like if that was like, a B movie shit quality, I think that the parody itself would just lose something. But because it's so good, plus Rick Moranis being so naturally funny.
Yeah.
Like, because he's funny when they're just talking and he's not even saying anything. He's making facial expressions and he's funny. And that's the beauty of of Tully and Ghostbusters. Just that he's just like makes faces talking about his party and and it's just it's funny. It's not even a joke. It's just he's funny.
He's just naturally funny. Yeah.
Yeah, and at the end of the movie, I didn't. This is bad, but not really. At the end of watching Spaceballs, I didn't think, wow, that was a hilarious movie, right? It was a funny movie. I enjoyed it for the most part, mostly. But my initial reaction was, man, I can't believe we lost Rick Moranis for 26 years or however long.
Yeah.
Like that, it just made me so mad because like, he's so fucking funny. And we could have gotten so much good shit.
Yeah.
And do you know why he quit acting?
No, I don't know why.
His wife died.
Oh, okay.
like I think in the '90s. So he like quit acting to take care of their kids.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason was like a complete honorable,
Yeah.
like legit, like good, a smart, like what a parent would do. Really, like, hey, I'm rich, I get royalties,
I'm successful. I've got enough
so
money. I don't need to act. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of my
yeah,
kids.
love of my life dies. I have like 3 kids, so I'm gonna fucking be a dad. So I completely get it.
Yeah.
But he's so fucking funny that it shows me like, dude, we could have had like 5 or 6 more amazing,
Yeah.
you know, Rick Moranis movies since 80 whatever 92 or whatever the fuck it was
Yeah.
when he did the last Honey I Shrunk or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he's coming back for the next Honey I Shrunk the
Is
Kids
he?
movie.
Okay.
He won't do Ghostbusters apparently. I don't know why, but he'll come back for Honey I Shrunk the whatever.
Maybe he just doesn't want to do that because I guess in Honey I Shrunk the Kids, like he's not as much of like the goofy persona he is in like Ghostbusters. Like maybe he just doesn't want to do like the super goofy thing. Because at least in Honey I
I
Shrunk
don't
the Kids,
know.
like he's an actual like character. Like he's a dad. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think like 23 year hiatus from live action films.
jeez, that's crazy.
He's coming back for the movie called Shrunk, which is the next.
Is that the soft reboot for Honey I Shrunk the Kids?
Well, I assume he was playing the same. It's a reboot for Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
Okay.
Disney Plus, theatrical release now.
Hmm.
The film being set 30 years after the original film,
Okay.
and I guess Josh Gad is in it.
Uh,
He plays his son.
Josh Gad plays his son.
Plays his son, yeah.
I don't really find Josh Gad that funny though.
Neither do I, but it's okay, whatever. um, yeah, I like the movie, man. It's funny. It's a
Yeah.
really funny movie, and it's lighthearted enough, and it's one of those movies that I'm looking for more in my life now, because I don't watch enough.
More movies like
just,
this, you mean?
Yeah, I don't really watch enough just goof movies.
Yeah.
I watch really like serious
Mm-hmm.
movies most of the time. Obviously, part of that time is dedicated towards like fucking. Okay, what did Nicolas Cage come out with this year? What 5 movies did he make this year? You see a trailer for his new movie?
That's not Pig? No.
Dude, it looks fucking sick.
What is it?
It's called like. Hold on, I'll pull it up for you. I'll give you the title so you can watch it after. The trailer's out. It looks fucking sweet. It's like a Gonzo. It's the same director who made fucking Suicide Club and like all these Japanese. A Japanese guy.
Huh.
It's called Prisoners of the Ghostland.
Prisoners of the Ghostland?
And bro, the trailer came out a few days ago. It looks fucking sick. It's like a weird like Mad Maxy samurai Gonzo movie where he's like a prisoner. He has to like save this person's daughter, but he's wearing a bomb suit. And if he doesn't save this daughter in like however much time, the bomb suit will explode.
Huh.
It looks fucking sweet.
Okay.
It's like samurais in it and stuff. I don't know. I don't want to bring every episode back to Nicolas Cage, but yeah, Spaceballs it's fun and I really enjoy it because it's like I said, I don't watch movies like this enough.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun to like, as I'm getting older, I'm not old by any means, but as I'm getting older, to be able to just like watch a fucking like stupid movie, because this movie's stupid.
Yeah.
It's a stupid movie. And my fear about that is it's true. It's a stupid movie. But so is Men in Tights, and I love Men in Tights. So I mean.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like, if you're looking for a comedy movie, I don't know if you want a movie that's like gonna be the most serious thing in the world. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say that I don't know. I wanted to take that because it's not that this movie doesn't take itself seriously. Because I mean, clearly, with the sets and everything, like, it's a serious movie in the fact that like, it's not just like slapped together for like a paycheck or something like that. Like, clearly Mel Brooks cared about the product.
It's serious about its comedy.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah. Well, it's even the Men in Tights. Like those. Yeah. Like it's serious about its comedy. It's not like it's a epic movie.
It's not trying to be like a life-changing story or experience or anything like that. Like it's its goal is to be funny and to make you laugh, and for me, it does that. So
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like laugh out loud except for that fucking KFC bit. The bit about the whole idea of the Force and the
Dick
Schwartz
Schwartz.
kind of was like super like, all right, this is like some like old Jewish guy making a Jewish bit. I don't really
The only
care.
one I really liked is with that whole scene. It was when they do the merchandising bit. That's a good bit for me.
That was really funny. I liked the lightsaber bit where like they're
When they
like,
get their Schwartz tangled.
no, before that when they first ignite the lightsabers.
Oh yeah. It's just
Where
stand-ins
Rick
for their
Moranis is
dicks.
like, where he's like, oh, it's as big as mine, and like, and Bill Pullman's like,
I
that's really funny.
remember. I think one of the things that I remembered watching this movie, and it's in all of Mel Brooks' comedies, really, but I feel like this is the one that like leans on it the heaviest, at least as far as like I can remember. But like how meta this movie is, and how much like it
Oh
realizes
yeah,
that it's a movie. I mean, like the best bit for that is obviously like when they watch the actual movie as they're making the movie, which is like I like that bit a lot where they're having like that weird existential crisis that Mick Moranis has when he tries to just figure out the meaning of now.
yeah. Well, also I also think that it's. Oh god, what was I saying? Shit. Oh fuck, I can't remember. Sorry,
That's all right.
I can't remember what I was gonna try. I was trying to say something about like Rick Moranis or something. I don't remember what it was.
Mm.
I don't know. But so one thing that I didn't think that the parody itself in terms of like the character parodies were all that funny except for Rick Moranis.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that the yogurt was really funny at all.
Mm-hmm.
The merchandising bit is really funny,
Mm-hmm.
but
Other than that, it doesn't really do
the character itself didn't really do much for me.
Yeah.
Um, the Bill Pullman being a mixture of Han
And
Solo,
Luke
but
Skywalker.
also kind of
Yeah.
Luke was like okay. Um, the parody of
Chewbacca?
Leia doesn't really land because Leia was never really a brat.
Yeah.
But I understand for the character purposes that doesn't have to be exactly the character, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
John Candy was funny. But I think the funniest part with that character was more so just the tail bits where the tail hits
Tailbits
him in
are
the
funny,
head.
yeah. He just keeps smacking him with his tail.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh, but what I was gonna say about what your point was about the meta part, the amount of fourth wall breaking is super high in this movie.
Yeah.
And I think that those are funny for the most part. I didn't think that any of the times that they broke the fourth wall were super offensive or anything like that. That they were all pretty effective and funny.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't really remember now. I watched it this morning. I can't even remember now what most of them were.
Well, obviously there's the bit with them watching the movie.
Yeah.
There's shit. Now I can't remember most of them. Like as I'm watching,
There's a yogurt bit
well,
too,
the stunt
right?
double bit. The stunt double bit.
Stunt double bit.
That's like another big one. Those are the two big ones. I know there's a bunch of like other like smaller ones.
Isn't there a merchandising bit too? Isn't there a fourth wall break in the merchandising part?
I can't remember. I mean, there's definitely like outside of the merchandising bit, especially when like you go onto like the Spaceballs world and it's like fucking President Scroob's like sheets are like Spaceballs and movie sheets.
Yeah.
And then he's also reading a book about Richard Nixon because they're both terrible presidents.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There might be another merchandising one. I can't remember.
I don't know. They were funny though.
Yeah.
Even though I think that's the exact quality of the movie that I'm expecting, which is it's a funny movie.
Yeah.
Well, give me the bit. Well, there's like two I can think of. Like that's like kind of like what I like. Did you ever watch Road Trip growing up?
I don't think I did.
Okay, so I did. I used to watch
That's like the
all
American
of
Pie
those.
thing, right?
It's same.
It's like
realm.
same crew or whatever.
Just Stifler.
Okay.
But I watched all those early 2000s to mid 2000s, like frat, like all the ones that were supposed to be fucking Revenge of the Nerds, but in the 2000s. I watched all those things before I should even watch all those things. All right, I just watched them all because when you're a child and people are like, "Oh, there's boobs in this one," you're like, "Yeah, of course I'm gonna watch this movie or try
That's
to
the
find
next one on the watch list, baby."
Or someone's older brother. I remember the first time I saw American Pie, it's because someone's older brother or someone's parent, I can't remember what it was, had like a DVD copy of it, and I was like, "We're watching this. We're gonna watch it."
100%. We're watching it.
I remember watching it, being like, "I boob, sure, cool," but I didn't really get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so all those movies I would watch, but I couldn't tell you really like, "Oh, here's a funny joke."
Yeah.
But there's something about that quality of joke, like quality of movie,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm perfectly content with, because that's what Spaceballs is to me, really.
Yeah.
Which is like, I love Men in Tights, but I couldn't tell you a single bit right now.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely, I couldn't tell you because it's been a long time since I've watched Men in Tights. It's definitely of the
Yeah.
ones that I've seen, it's the one that I've rewatched the least, but.
It's not like Ghostbusters, where I can tell you
Yeah.
Ghostbusters bits, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of another comedy I can tell you. Shit, I don't really watch many comedies.
I don't really
Um,
watch many comedies that are that memorable to me. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Here, I'm gonna pull up my hard drive real quick and look at my
The
comedies
ones
from
I think
there.
of are, yeah, like Ghostbusters,
Oh, I
Blazing
can't. Never mind.
Saddles, Spaceballs.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. I look at my hard drive. I couldn't tell you I can't. I mean, I don't watch them enough. They're not in my regular rotation.
Yeah.
I think it's because they just don't make good comedies anymore.
Not really. I mean, a lot of times when like a movie's got like comedy or stuff in it, it's usually nowadays it's like the comedy's couched around some other genre. Like there's not really like pure comedy films anymore.
And I've seen in theaters, obviously before this last 14 months,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a couple comedies in theaters. Like I saw Tag,
I don't think I've ever watched Tag.
I saw Game Night. These are like pure comedy movies with
Yeah.
like some crimey elements or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like I couldn't tell you a single fucking joke or bit that like stood out.
Yeah.
They were fine movies, but I couldn't tell you. Um, but I could tell you all the funny bits in Scream 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And it could be also a nostalgia, like a timing thing,
That's possible.
but also because those movies are really jam packed full of Zucker funnies
Yeah.
before they went downhill. But even though Scary Movie 3 still pretty funny.
I don't even remember which one Scary Movie 3 was.
Scary Movie 3 is with Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman's in Scary Movie 3?
Yeah, he plays Nicholas. He plays Mel Gibson in Signs.
I thought that was Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. That's what I'm sorry. Charlie Sheen. Yeah, Charlie Sheen. You're right.
Okay.
Charlie Sheen, and the hot dog bit when his wife is dying after the car accident.
It's
He's
been
like
a long time since I've watched
he's-
Scary Movie 3.
So his wife is in a car accident, right? And
Uh-huh.
like he's trying to ask. I'm just from memory. He's like trying to ask the EMT or the cop like if she can still have sex or something, or explain it. And he's like constantly pulling out other metaphors or symbols for a penis and a vagina. He's like a hot dog and a hot dog bun, and like a donut. And he's like trying to, and it's like so fucking dumb. This is the same movie with Leslie Nielsen in it as the president.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, right? That's pretty funny. Obviously, the fucking first and second one though, those are the ones that really stand out.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, is there anything else, man? I can't think of anything else. It's a fun movie. I enjoyed it. It's funny. It's goofy. It's what I expect from a Mel Brooks movie, and I don't regret watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a good time. I think I can definitely take time before I watch it again.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I think that's like, with Mel Brooks movies, it's not movies that like I instantly want to rewatch again, but whenever I do go back and rewatch them, I always have a fun time with them.
Yeah, I could see that. Is he your favorite? What's your favorite comedy?
Phew. Fuck. I don't know. I feel like it's like a toss-up between like... It's probably a toss-up between like Ghostbusters and like Blazing Saddles, probably. Like one of those two.
Really?
Yeah.
I think if I had to pick one, and it's so hard because again, I don't really watch all that many.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I don't fuck. It's so hard.
Dude, like I can't even think of all the comedy movies that I've watched, like off the other than like stupid Adam Sandler movies that I watched when I was a kid. But
Yeah, like Billy Madison. If I went by viewing, Billy Madison would be on there. But I think Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura is good too. Yeah,
Ace Ventura
I guess.
1.
Yeah, I didn't really think. I mean, like Liar Liar's up there for me. I really like Liar Liar a lot.
Never seen it.
It's really good.
Never seen it. Never seen it. I saw. I've seen fucking Me, Myself, and Irene.
That's a good one too.
I've seen that. But Ace Ventura was a big one for me as a kid. Like I think most people, most dudes. I guess.
I remember watching the second one a lot more than the first one because I think the second one was always on like Comedy Central.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
I've seen When Nature Calls.
When Nature Calls is
so
fantastic.
much more.
I love When Nature Calls.
And also because the ending of 1, as a 7-year-old, you don't get.
Yeah.
You don't
the
get
whole
till you're older.
Thing, yeah.
Yeah, you don't understand that. I didn't get it. But while I was rewatching Ace Ventura, like probably a month ago, and I didn't realize that that's the fucking girl from Blade Runner.
In 2 or 1?
In 1, the fucking police chief.
Oh, is it?
I didn't know that she's the assistant from Blade Runner.
Wow. No, I didn't know that.
I'm like 90% sure that's her. Sean something, right?
Huh.
Sean something?
All I remember is that Courtney Cox is in that one.
Courtney Cox is in it, and she looks great.
She does.
And it's funny because my fiance is a huge fan of Friends, so I know that she would love the movie.
Yeah. Oh, she hasn't seen it?
Cox is in it.
Oh shit, dude.
I don't know if she's seen it. I've never asked her.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, Sean Young.
Sean Young. Huh.
Stripes, Blade Runner, Dune, No Way Out, Wall Street, Cousins, Fatal Instinct, Ace Ventura.
Wow. All right.
What a weird list of movies to be.
What an eclectic list of films.
What else should she be in? Let's pull up some lists. Let's see what's going on. She's still acting. She's in Blade Runner 2049, obviously, because she was the little bit of it.
Which bit was she?
Bone Tomahawk.
Oh, wait. She's the android. Is that who she is?
Yeah, she plays like she's Deckard's wife or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Bone Tomahawk. She was in that. She was in...
Oh, wow. Okay.
Nothing else huge since the 90s.
Damn.
You know who I always get confused for is in Men in Black 1, the fucking medical doctor.
Oh, Men in Black would be up there too. Men in Black is a good comedy.
Yeah, but at the same time, science fiction action.
Yeah, it's definitely more like a science fiction action than a comedy, for sure. But
comedic elements.
Yeah.
But no, Linda Fiorentino, who plays the
doctor.
The doctor of Men in Black.
The coroner, I guess. She's not.
Yeah, whatever doctor, whatever she is. I always thought that she reminded me of.
She reminds me kind of like Courtney Cox. She has like the same.
Not Courtney Cox, but she reminds me of fucking. I kept thinking that she was like, not Rachel Weisz, but someone along those lines. And then whenever I would Google her name, every time I would watch Men in Black, I'm like, it's not her. So what do I kept doing it because I kept thinking she was someone else.
I don't know who else.
Oh, you know what? I'm wrong. I completely am full of shit.
Okay.
So, I remember. So I would keep thinking that I recognized her from somewhere, right? When I would watch Men in Black, I kept thinking that she was another actress. And I would Google her name and go, no, I don't know that name, so it can't be this person. Well, I'm looking at her fucking IMDb, and she was in Dogma, and that's the person I kept thinking she reminded me of.
So it was her.
So it was her the whole time. I just didn't know her name. I just didn't know her name. So
okay,
that's fun. Zach, dude, any final thoughts about Spaceballs? Anything else you want to hit?
I mean, look, guys, if you haven't watched it yet, take a hour and a half to watch it. And that's the other thing too, is that like with the
90 minutes.
Yeah, 90 minutes. Short, sweet. You're in, you're out. It's good.
Mel Brooks gets it. He gets the 90-minute rule.
Yeah, he totally gets it. I don't think any of his movies are like over 90 minutes.
The 90-minute rule applies to 2 movies genres in particular.
Actions and comedies.
Actions and comedies, right? Now, if the action movie is like, Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Well, then you can think it's more of a drama.
Yeah.
But if it's like Lethal Weapon, Die Hard,
Commando,
and both those movies might not be 90 minutes. I don't know.
I think they're right around the 90-minute mark.
But if if they're longer, they excel at making it feel like 90 minutes.
Yeah. I feel like Die
Yeah.
Hard is definitely around the 90-minute mark.
I'm gonna pull up Lethal Weapon. You pull up Die Hard.
Let me see. Die Hard.
Lethal Weapon, 110 minutes.
Die Hard
That's right there in the
is.
range.
Where the fuck is it? Why can I not see how long it is? What the
I'll
fuck?
pull it up.
Oh, hold on. Maybe it's the.
2 hours and 12 minutes.
Is it really? Wow.
That's what it says. 132.
I'm shocked. I definitely thought it would be about.
That movie has about half hour or 20 minutes of build up.
Okay.
So technically, when the movie actually starts,
it's about 90 minutes.
It's 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Because for the first 20 minutes, it's him, at the airport.
Him at the airport, him getting into the hotel, driver. All that kind of stuff.
So technically, when action starts, 90 minutes. So.
How long is Predator? Is that 90 minutes?
Let's look. Got the poster right here.
Woohoo! Let's see. An hour 47. Yeah. So right around 90 minutes.
Dude, what? This is off of Spaceballs.
Mm-hmm.
But I think tonight I feel like watching The Matrix.
Preparing for that fourth movie that's going to come out in like half a year?
Well, the thing is that with that movie, I'm watching it like 6 times before then.
Well, that's fair.
Because I'm going to make sure that I already know The Matrix. I know it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But if you ask me, Jason, there are a few properties that I have seen enough times where I could tell you everything about the property.
Mm-hmm.
Like Die Hard, I can tell you everything about Die Hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Predator 1, I can tell you everything about Predator. But when it comes to a series of movies, Star Wars, obviously, I can tell you everything about Star Wars. I can tell you mostly everything about Star Wars, right? Like plot-wise, plot importance. Bill and Ted, easy. Back to the Future, got it, okay. But The Matrix, it's a trilogy of movies that I have seen. Some of the most movies I've seen ever are The Matrix. High on my rewatch list.
Okay.
But it's the one franchise that I can never say 100% that I'm getting everything right. So I have to watch it like 5 times before December. That way, that when I see the movie in theaters with my fiance and she says, "So explain this," I can actively explain.
I mean, are you going to be able to like sit down and write a dissertation about what the hell's going on in the Matrix?
Well, the day before release, we're going to watch all 3 back to back.
Okay.
She can get over it.
That's fair.
And if she wants to pause at the train station in Revolutions, fuck off. Not going to get married.
Oh no, dude, that train station scene is rough.
It is rough. And that's look, we all had to suffer through it, so she can too.
Well, that's true. It's definitely a rite of passage for watching The Matrix. You have to suffer.
Yeah. In the middle of the fucking architect speech, if she asked me to pause it and explain,
look, she can't pause off the architect speech.
No.
You've got to listen to the whole thing. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense to you. You have to listen to the whole thing.
I'll unpack it at the end of the movie.
Yes.
But in the middle,
luckily,
listen.
it's almost the end of the movie when that happens, so she doesn't have to wait too long.
Exactly. I'll unpack it after. Right. Well, Zach, dude, I don't have anything else to say about Spaceballs. It's a fun movie. I enjoyed it for the most part. I'm not surprised I avoided it for 20-some years. I don't think that I have the feeling of regret for avoiding it. I could have probably gone my whole life without seeing it and still been fine. But I am glad that I watched it. I think it's a fun movie. I think the sets look great. Special effects are exactly what I expect to be of a proper like a Star Wars movie. They look good.
Yeah.
Sets look good. Costumes look good. The big standout is definitely Rick Moranis for sure. Everyone else is good. No one else is bad in the movie.
Yeah.
Everyone's good. But Rick Moranis is, as expected, when he's in a movie, not with Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, and Bill Murray, who I think are the only guys who could like
outstage him,
top him. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, because if it was like Harold Ramis in the movie, Harold Ramis is gonna win, but he's not.
Yeah,
it's Rick Moranis. This is a Rick Moranis vehicle, so he's at the top for sure. So 100%. That's what I think.
I get that.
So
yeah.
Anything else to before we wrap up?
No, that was it. I mean, you basically hit the nail on the head with that. I mean, yeah, I just I don't really regret having watched it when I was a kid. I enjoyed this movie a hell of a lot, and for me, it's one of those movies that definitely like hits the nostalgia button for sure. So
Cool, man. Well, hey guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
yes,
We'll see you back next week with another episode of License to View.
see you guys.